You've probably heard the story. The dusty stagecoach, the masked bandits, the stolen gold shipment. It's a classic Wild West tale, set right here in 1897. Newspapers ran with it. Town gossip fueled it for decades. There's even a plaque. But what if I told you the entire thing was a lie? That the most famous stagecoach robbery in this county's history never actually happened? Let's set the scene. It was a Tuesday, October 12, 1897. The stage was carrying a payroll for the miners up in the hills, a fortune in gold coins. The route took it through a narrow pass called Devil's Gulch. According to the legend, 3 men on horseback ambushed the coach. They fired shots into the air, terrified the driver and guard, and made off with 2 strongboxes. A classic, clean heist. The news spread like wildfire. The local paper, the Sentinel, ran a dramatic front-page story the very next day. It described the robbery in vivid detail. The sheriff formed a posse. They combed the hills for weeks. But the bandits and the gold vanished into thin air. The case went cold, becoming local folklore. A story told to tourists. But here's where it gets interesting. About 10 years ago, a historian named Dr. Anna Riggs was digitizing old county records. She wasn't even looking for the robbery. She was looking for land deeds. And that's when she found the discrepancy. First, the Stagecoach Company's own ledger. There was no record of a gold shipment scheduled for October 12, 1897. In fact, their logs show the route through Devil's Gulch was suspended that entire week due to a washed-out bridge. No stagecoach could have physically been there. Second, the sheriff's report. The official, dusty document filed in the county archives. It makes no mention of a robbery. Not a single line. It details livestock disputes, a bar fight, but no grand theft. The posse that was supposedly formed? No payroll records exist for the deputies that would have been hired. So if there was no gold, no coach, and no official investigation, where did the story come from? Dr. Riggs kept digging. And she found the source, the Sentinel newspaper itself. More specifically, she found the publisher, a man named Horace Finch. Finch's paper was struggling. Circulation was down. The town was in a slump. And then, in mid-October 1897, he published the explosive robbery story. Sales skyrocketed. Suddenly, our sleepy town was on the map as a place of daring outlaw adventure. Tourism picked up. Businesses thrived. Dr. Riggs believes Finch fabricated the entire event. A sensational story to sell papers and put his town on the map. He borrowed details from other, smaller robberies in the region, crafted a compelling narrative, and the public bought it. Literally. They bought the papers. Over time, the legend solidified into fact. Memories were rewritten. Even the stagecoach driver, interviewed years later, told the story as if it were real, a perfect example of how a lie, repeated enough, becomes history. So next time you're in a historic town and you see a plaque, or hear an old tale, maybe ask a few questions. Sometimes the most fascinating true crime stories aren't about the crime that was committed, but the one that was invented. The mystery isn't who did it, but why we so desperately wanted to believe it happened at all.